that is one of the updates I have for these models, the SN10 and SN11. But before that, we're going to check the PDF. Here's the PDF for the SN10. I'm going to go very briefly about the contents, but specifically I'm going to be talking about the modifications that I made to the upgrades. So first of all, I changed the color into a more metallic version. It's a silver chromatic color. It looks more realistic instead of the sky blue color from the original design. This is one of the first things that makes it different from the previous Starships models 8 and 9. This segment goes under the nose cone and it consists of 4 rings instead of the 5 original rings. Here we could see welding joints here where the new COPVs will go inside. And that's the new upgrade, a new addition is by adding these COPVs to the inside of the nose cone. As you can see, this is the inner skin of the 4-ring segment, and here we see the parts that will make the 3 OPVs and the supporters. I found this reference from a guy from Twitter who is a designer of an excellent plastic 3D model, and he gave me permission to use this reference, his drawings, into my model. In the description of this video, there's a link to his Twitter account, so you can check out his wonderful model. Another option is to include the upper dome of the model, and here these two graphics indicate where this former will need to be placed depending upon if you are going to be adding or not the upper dome. These are the rings that will make the upper dome, along with this with the Tesla battery, and this diagram shows where it is glued in this section, and which, by the way, this Tesla battery, it will be facing the umbilical area. Another new addition is the new bulkhead, the thrust puck. If you have downloaded my previous model, the SN7.2, you could see the new thrust puck with these 3 curved pipes that will prolong outward from these 3 points. Okay. A new addition also to the model is this box here that will replace the original Tesla battery that I inadvertently, without knowing, I added there. I think I got a wrong information, but there is a special box on the bottom area of the engine section on the wall next to the COPVs. There is this box. We still really don't know its function, but it has these pipes. Now, I came across with the same designer from the Starship 3, John Soylent, who has created a wonderful plastic 3D model, and he apparently has good reference to add all the details, and he found, and he has this part also. I asked him permission to use his drawing into my model. Another modification that I did to this Starship was the landing legs. Now the upper portion is more compact. There's no weaker points. Also, the leg pillars I have modified based on more current photos of the original hardware that shows that the pillar is actually slanted, a broad base. As you can see, the base will cover these wide areas, areas big enough to place small magnets. and it's a great addition. It makes it better to add these magnets, strong magnets in these areas. And finally, the Raptors. This is my third upgrade that I have made to the Starship Raptors. This time I have added more wiring, more tubing. This diagram here on the PDF shows, it looks a little overwhelming, but it does show where these little tubes are supposed to be glued. After this presentation, I'm going to show you the real model so you can have a better idea. Finally, my reference page that I always add to the PDF of every Starship that will show you how it looks from the belly side and from the umbilical side. This will be a good reference for you when you are assembling the model. Notice the location of the hinges that are facing towards the umbilical area. These black squares here indicate the hinges section, the hinge section. This is the belly side. You could see on the top where the header tank is placed, and you can see where the tiles are placed. All right, so now let's, I'll show you the real model now. The skin with the COPVs that will go inside the nose cone. Let's take a closer look in detail here on the front. Individual COPV with both upper and bottom supports. Let me move this aside so you can see much closer. On the top there are these triangles, and on the front you will need to place these strips. All right, pretty simple to build. So these will go inside the nose cone. All right. And here's a close-up of the little box that goes inside the engine section on the wall. Just a little rectangular box, very easy to build. And a closer look at the magnets that I was able to find via Amazon that I'm using for this model. I have added the link of these magnets on the description of the video. Check it out. Okay, so here it's a closer look at the new thrust puck bulkhead with the new Raptors. Look the detail, look the position where the magnet goes there. You can see that there is the other magnet inside the Raptor. Yeah. And a closer look at one of the Raptors here. The methane turbo pump here. This one is the small cylinder. The LOX, liquid oxygen main pump right here in the middle. And this tubing is the tubing that brings the methane all the way to the turbo pump. Here we have on the back the gable struts. And if you notice for this model, I did a small modification. The gimbal strut plates are these little like arms protruding on the back. They need to be angled downwards and to be glued to the very corner where the the two segments of the gimbal struts are connected here in the little corner. So let me show you a slide presentation, a slideshow, so you could see in detail where these wires are supposed to be connected, okay? All right, all these photos will show you in detail how to build this new Raptor. Beginning with this, this is the end portion of the long strip that will make the methane tubing. It's split on its end and is glued to this small circle. Here you see it. And because it contains, it has two parts glued together, it makes it rigid, so it could be shaped and curve it as shown here. Here are the two parts, the full Raptor before all the new wiring and these the methane tubing. This end will be glued to the CH4 turbo pump, and this one will be attached to the a similar plate that it's on the thrust puck. All right, 2 points where you will need to glue this tubing here and on this gimbal strut. This is the new wiring. It has two parts mainly. This segment is goes on top of this long strip, as you can see. It goes under. And this section that is shown here is going to be glued at this level, like this. Now look at this hidden shoulder. You will need to lift it up and move it forward like this. Shoulder on top. This is the back, how it looks, and you would need to cover this white area with this new patch, the same drawing as from the front. Okay. Now that we have everything, it starts gluing on this right back gimbal strut. Glue it here and start threading this long left strip inside this shoulder all the way out. Here's a side view. You could see how it goes inside this shoulder. This strip that you will see, it's bent here, 90-degree angle, and the very tip will be glued to this main cylinder. This photo shows the end of the three main strips. One goes on top of this gimbal plate and is glued here on this side of the main cylinder. The other ones will be going onto the second gimbal strut plate. Here is one, here is two, and these will go one on top and one underneath. This is a side view. You could see one on top and one underneath the second arm plate. This is this tubing is glued on the side. You can see. Just reference this picture with your model, and you will see where this strip needs to be placed. The full view of all the new Raptors in place. And one more. This next strip is glued on the inside of this curve portion of the methane tubing. And the diagram here, this represents all the four views of the new updated Raptor, and it shows the location of the new wiring. Okay. And here's a view of the new COPVs that go inside the four segment ring segment, the nose cone. You can see how their location. There are going to be markings on the wall where you could see where they're going to be glued. This is another view you can see from below. And this is the original artwork from the original designer of the beautiful Starship plastic 3D model. There is the link on the description on this video that will take you to his Twitter account, and you can check his model. So this is the box that he created, and he gave me permission to use the artwork and put it into my model. Here is another view of his 3D model with the placement of the COPVs. Although this one belonged to a previous Starship that had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 segments of the nose cone. All right. All right, that will wrap it up for today. Thank you for checking this video, and please send your comments, and don't forget to subscribe. Thank you until our next video.